Hello, everyone. So today I want to talk about image similarity search. Now, the idea around image similarity search is not just what it can do in of itself, but the magic it has when you look at it from the perspective of building products for customers or clients who come to you to build softwares. Now, the thing is, I'm a strong believer that AI is not going to take people's job in the sense that it's going to render everyone unemployed. But I think it's just going to require a different level of innovation and disruption from developers. And this is what this video and subsequent video is about. It's about making you realize that you could build amazing things with AI and the things AI has brought to us, the tools and the platforms and the techniques, right? Now, we want to talk about image. And the thing about image is you could the representation of image is what computers understand, not necessarily the visual itself. So you see colors, a dog, and beautiful ambience and whatever, but the computer sees numbers. Now, Pinecone helps us achieve vector search for images by doing something, and I love how they represented it in their course. It's a free course, by the way, on deep learning. I think Andrew Ng is the founder of deep learning, but the deep learning platform where you could learn different things about AI and deep learning, machine learning, and all that. So they released a course, Pinecone, and one of the things they covered, among other awesome concepts, was facial similarity search. That's not where I'm more excited about. Let's look at a situation where I'm to build an e-commerce store for someone. Well, traditionally, I've just built the e-commerce store, deploy backend and upload their stocks, right? But I could go a step further. I could develop a PWA. PWAs are like web applications that run like mobile apps, pretty much that. I think you could watch Kelvin's video that talks more about PWA. But the point is, you could create a PWA that helps you search for similar products of the e-commerce app. So what I mean is I could have an e-com platform like maybe farfetch.com, but I could have mobile.farfetch.com where I could just point at a clothing item and it directs me like a QR code, but it redirects me to Farfetch's website where I could see that same product and see the pricing of that product and see the description of that product. Now, what makes that beautiful is everyone knows how businesses capitalize on people's ignorance to hike up prices. So you could go to shop A and the price is way, way superior, way more than shop B. So this helps you find out immediately that hey, this product is way cheaper on this platform and I'm gonna go get it. Or this product is way cheaper on that platform and I'm gonna go get it. Now imagine if you created a platform that brought all these different websites together. So my platform would be called A, and I could scan a product, and my app is going to search on different stores where you find the cheapest of that same item. So I want to buy a remote, right? And I'm going to scan this remote, and it's going to help me find where or which website, which platform, which store, whatever, that sells this remote, and it's going to show me that pricing from the cheapest price to the most expensive, and it's way way better. Isn't that convenient? So I could just call up an order from the cheapest store if I'm actually a cheap ass, which I am. So it solves that problem. So let's really understand what this whole facial or image similarity thing works, how it works. Let's just have a look. So let's imagine we had a data sample. We had this data sample of many products. So many products could be products of clothing or phones or drinks, laptops, whatever kind of products you can imagine. We had this data sample of all of them, right? What we do is we could embed this data sample. So embedding means we could convert it to numbers, vector numbers, right? So we could embed this. And for Pinecone, what they did was they used deep face, but because we're working with people, human beings, faces, and all that. So they were using deepfakes. I haven't really tried if deepfakes covers any form of image, but that's just a reference I'm going to make. So once you've embedded this, the next thing you want to do is you're going to store the numerical representation of what you'd call a vector store, right? Now, in a vector store, you can easily query similarities of those numbers with a prompt or a query image. So once I have my vector store, the next thing I want to do is I want to query that vector store with an image. This could be an image of a shirt. Let's say I want to buy a shirt. Now we have an image of a shirt, and it's like we want to query the vector store to find out if there is a shirt that looks like my shirt, and it should bring out that information and possibly, reference every other metadata, like maybe where I can find it and all this sort of stuff. So the beautiful thing is, once this shirt has been plugged in into this, there is now a response. So it gives us a response where it tells us the item in the data sample that looks exactly like our shirt. Isn't that awesome? And it feels so simple. It feels so straightforward, right? So this is what Pinecone was trying to like describe in the simplest form. It's a little bit more complex under the hood, but it's been simplified in such a way that a typical developer who understands this architecture could set this up for an e-com store or a smart home, if you could believe it. So a smart home with the IoT devices and all that could extract the data that it needs. So for example, you could set it up that if it sees a family member, automatically open the door or automatically turn off the lights or whatever. Or if it sees a stranger, alerts security or somebody. So these are kind of like the applications we could set up. And there was a time you have to use APIs, and the outcome is really average because there was no diversity in the data sample, or it wasn't really having as much of that, flexibility that you want. But now with this type of architecture, you could literally set things up yourself. That's why, it excites me so much with image similarity search. Like you could literally search for an image and not just search for an image. You could search for a company metadata of that image to learn more about the image. And we could build a lot of stuff when it comes to software. And this is why I have that standpoint. Developers are not going to lose their job in the traditional sense of being jobless. But if you're not really ready to learn these techniques and learn these new architectures and learn these new integrations that's possible, it's going to make it very difficult. So there are other concepts, hybrid search and RAGs, retrieval augmented generation. And I really love RAG. I love RAG so much. But today we're not talking about RAG. I'm a RAG fanboy, but we're not talking about RAG today. We're talking about image similarity search. So let me know what you think you can build with something like this that works for you. Like, let me just know what you can build. I'll see you in the next one.